What's going on, folks? CJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer, here alongside the Snagglicious, Jubilicious SnaggleJ. Kris, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm happy that we've decided not to quit Bullpen Banter after the first week and continue on with the second week. That's good.
I'm
I think
very surprised that we made it there.
listen, we're here. We're here. Get used to it.
I'm also actually very surprised that when I pointed on the video version, I actually pointed to the right side on the first guess.
This side?
Yeah. No, that is not the right side. Yes, that is the correct side if I was doing it, but it's the wrong side if you're doing it.
Big 10-4.
You know what we should use? Post-it notes. Post-it notes would probably do the trick there. Just put a post-it on the right side. It says, that's the side TJ's on. No, you're left. It's your left. We're very professional. This is how we do things. It's pretty genius.
It's that way.
Did I even say what show this is? We're talking about Bullpen Banter. This is Bullpen Banter, your source for all sorts of baseball, video game news, and stuff. Starting with the fact that my Phil Niekro in Perfect Team is doing really, really bad. I ended up putting him into the bullpen. Long relief. Do not use in high leverage situations. I think he's like 3-10 with a 6 something ERA. Something that if you rounded, it would be more 7 than 6. So Mike Soroka back in the rotation. I'm excited about that. Kris, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I got no complaints.
I got no complaints either.
I feel like it's been a long week.
Actually, I lied. I do have one complaint, but we'll get to that in the follow-up.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a long week. I'm kind of over winter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see some hot baseball news. Real Muto got dealt today, so the hot stove maybe picking up a little bit.
We can talk about that. That's some good follow-up right there. Real Muto got traded from the Marlins to the Phillies for Sixto Sanchez.
A lot. It was a lot.
Jorge Alfaro and a pitcher that nobody knows so much that even Paul Sporer didn't know who he was. So that tells you
he's terrible.
I feel like that tells you all you really need to know.
And some international slot money.
Slot money. All right. Well, hey. Good for the Marlins if that works out for them. Follow up from last week's show. Does Real Muto going to the Phillies, or I guess Sixto Sanchez going to the Marlins, does that make you want to play with either of those teams more or less in either Out of the Park or MLB?
Philadelphia, I mean, it doesn't change me with the Phillies at all. It does make Florida or Miami, I guess, a little more tempting because you're getting two relatively high rated prospects.
Well, we think it's going to be high. We should mention that Ryden, who used to be doing the OSFM rosters for MLB The Show, is now working with the Out of the Park Developments team for their rosters. He's going to be at Rays Fan Fest this week, I believe. If you want to go meet up with him there. But he's going to be at spring training down in Florida, checking out all these guys to make sure our rosters are super good. So now that Sixto Sanchez is down there, though I guess technically he would have been in Florida anyway, we can make sure that he gets out there and check him out and see if he's going to be a good prospect worth using.
The new guy who's been here for 8 minutes already getting way cooler assignments than you and I ever get.
Hey, man. We did that thing where we went to the place across the street from Fenway Park and we had a great time.
Beer Works.
I ate so much appetizers there. It was so good.
You know what? Confirm or deny, you're still full from the OTP meetup at Beer Works across from Fenway.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
I was very excited. I'd like to go back. So keep our fingers crossed that we got our panel picked up so we can go.
Yeah. Do you guys have any pull with PAX people? Please.
I mean, we open a lot of PAX, so we should probably go to PAX. Right?
That sounds like the most logic-based thinking I've ever heard.
I should mention, if you're watching live, this is obviously a video version of the show, but you can also subscribe to the podcast version of it over on ThatSportsGamer.com. I believe you just click podcasts and then I think podcasts and then Bullpen Banter should be right there. Or I think on the right side, there's a link to subscribe in all your podcast players of choice. And also, Balls on Base, thanks for resubscribing to twitch.tv/ThatSportsGamer. There was something else I want to talk about, and now it all just threw me off with all that. Uh, what I want to say was, if you are listening to the podcast later on, we're gonna be looking at a lot of screenshots and stuff from the trailer. So maybe that's more of a visual thing that you might want to try to look at the video version of for this week. Kris.
Yeah.
Also, some more follow up that I want to do because we did talk about some of the pre-order stuff for MLB this year in last week's show. They did put out a GameStop video. Was it Monday? I think Monday or Tuesday. So they talked about some more stuff. So I grabbed a couple screenshots from there. One of the things we were talking about was the how you're going to get a Diamond Flashback player, one of 30 that you're going to get to choose. SDS Jax on the Show Nation forums did confirm that you will be able to see the players before selecting your pre-order Team Diamond. So you will know who all 30 of these players are when you're up to that up to that decision. Also, Prestige Gear Up Choice Pack, again, which we didn't know. Choice Pack seems like it's just going to be their term for what Madden has as fantasy packs. We'll also talk about that later when we get to the gameplay trailer. So they got bat skins, stadium sounds, equipment, and equipment. So we'll see what all that looks like. Bat skins, from what everybody's been saying, kind of sounds like, I don't know if you remember from the Home Run Derby, Bryce Harper had his bat all done up on the top with like essentially a custom paint job for his bat. There's that. Stadium sounds, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if you get like certain stuff in Diamond Dynasty. That would be kind of interesting. And then I assume the equipment is just for your create a player or your road to the show player. So I guess create a player confirmed for MLB The Show 19.
I guess so.
Sounds good to me. And the other thing we saw in that video was also the lineup screen, which we saw that there were the multiple lineups that are going to be there. My only question about this is how this is going to work. Is it still just going to be you have your lineup, and then it's which squad you want, like how Madden works, or is it going to be your different, left hand versus left hand pitching versus right hand pitching? I doubt that's going to be the case. I assume it's just going to be, this is your squad with this lineup. When you go into a game, that's your lineup, and you're still not going to see who the pitching hand is.
The two things that really worry me, that temper my expectations about the multiple lineups thing.
Is any of them Matt Carpenter playing catcher?
Yeah, well, that's a big problem. One, will I be able to have the same player on multiple lineups? So, like, for example, can I have my diamond whoever on my regular lineup and on my grind lineup?
Yeah.
If I can't do that, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the you-know-what.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be like Madden and FIFA have it, where it's just like completely separate things, and you can do whatever you want in each one.
Yeah. I hope that's the case. But yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to be anything lefty-righty related. I don't think we're ever going to get the ability to see lefty-righty pitchers back. I don't think that's going to be a thing.
I wish we would.
I wish we would too, but I just don't. It'd be cool if they put it back in. I think the feedback that they've gotten primarily points to that people would like to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think given the way they reacted to the initial feedback of taking out the ability to see lefty righty, the way that they were very hardline on this is how we're doing it, this is why, doesn't give me the indication that there was any sort of wiggle room to go back.
I do wonder what is going to happen. I don't know if you've been following around on the Twitters. Apparently, there's a big push to try to get Universal DH in for this season. In MLB, I think that's a terrible idea. I think you got to give National League teams some time to go.
Yeah, you can't put it in literally 2 weeks before spring training.
Yeah, but I wonder if they did that. Do you think Diamond Dynasty would switch straight to all DHs? I would guess so, right? I do wonder if they could have the ability to like even have an event with DH. That would be kind of cool.
I mean, I think if they move to a universal DH, I think you might see Diamond Dynasty go to a DH. Mm-hmm. Like I think that would seem, if pitchers hitting is not a thing, Like here's the counterpoint to that.
So what you're saying is, if it's in the game, it's in the game.
Well, here's the counterpoint to that. Would the MLB licensing, would they push that and say, hey, listen, we don't let pitchers hit anymore. We don't want you letting them hit in your game that we license.
Right.
So it might be something they might not have a choice. And I know that seems really fickle, but
Sure,
you know,
it's possible.
MLB has taken their image with licensing in terms of, you know, things like charging the mound and stuff extremely seriously. I think if they made a polarizing change, like implementing DH in both leagues, it could be a possibility where they tell Sony, listen, we want to see DH in your Diamond Dynasty mode because that's what we want. And what are they going to say? They're not going to have a choice.
Yeah, not going to have a choice. So anything else you want to mention before we hop right into trailer breakdown?
No, let's do it. I'm ready.
And also, they put out the trailer on Tuesday, and then today they dropped they dropped their own trailer breakdown of saying what all the stuff is. And I hope you guys are very happy to know that we literally nailed everything in our breakdown of it.
Yeah, I watched the breakdown shortly after it went up, and after the 6 minutes, I was like, okay, I saw all that. The only thing I was concerned about was that 1% thing that I didn't think the one player who we thought was the player that we thought. There was one legend I wanted clarified just to get that 1% doubt out of my head. And we were right. We were right. So yeah, you know what? It wasn't really that surprising.
I think we knocked it all out of the park. I was pretty pumped. So first up, if my slideshow button works, it does. They have included the 2018 World Series pennant at Fenway Park. I feel like a lot of people missed that to start with. Actually, I feel like nobody really said that in their breakdown. But
yeah, I don't think it was anything that anybody was really looking for.
I just don't know. Do they have it up yet in real life? I'm not sure.
I don't think they do. I think it's going to be.
They probably unveil it or something, right?
Put up like during their opening weekend series.
Yeah, I would assume
you would think.
All right, so we got that. Something they didn't mention, but I noticed. I feel like the faces actually got a lot better. I even went back yesterday and went into MLB 18, and I think the faces are better. This is a shot of Chris Sale here, and I feel like he's just a little bit more polished than he was in years past.
Yeah. After I think you had mentioned that to me at some point in the last 48 hours, it didn't really strike me like originally, but going back and looking at it, it seemed, I guess, a little more like I think you said it, a little more polished is kind of how it looks.
Yeah, I looked at him.
Looks like they cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah, I looked at him and a couple of other guys, because it did show a surprising amount of just like faces. Part of that is just because they want to talk about more about like new player reactions and stuff. So
right.
What else we got here? New bus image. They also said on the breakdown today that there's also new planes. That's cool.
Yep.
Then the room is, from what they said in the breakdown, the room is just where you create your guy. It doesn't sound like you're going to spend any time in here, a la a Road to Glory in NCAA football.
Yeah, it's kind of what we predicted it was going to be last week. Like it's more of a hub that you won't spend a whole lot of time. Like we said last week, it looks really cool. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have a bedroom, but you know it's just going to be kind of a hub area, kind of a loading screen, and then you'll probably forget that it ever existed. Still a nice little touch. I think it always shows like the dedication to like flushing out the mode when you literally build what is not a useless screen, but a screen that you're going to see like maybe for 5 seconds or like a couple of minutes during your entire playthrough, but they put that much effort and level of detail into creating it. It kind of goes to show, you know, how they've rebuilt RTTS to be, you know, where it's going to be this year. So it's cool.
Yep. Next up, the archetypes for Road to the Show return. And it sounds like they're going to get modified a little bit. I kind of want to get back into Road to the Show. I didn't play it that much last year. I kind of feel like I'm ready to come back.
Yeah, like
and
for me,
maybe it's just because they put up a picture of Nolan Ryan and I got enticed. That could be it. They might have just tricked me.
You know, it was one of those things. Like I wanted to get into it last year, but knowing that there was going to be more improvements this year. I mean, it was well documented that they put Road to the Show on a 3-year improvement cycle.
So we should play next year, is what you're saying?
No, because this is the third year.
This is
the third. This is the third year, right? So
is it?
Yeah,
because last year. What was
because the first year was when they introduced the I don't remember. You're asking me something that happened 2 years ago.
I'll pull up the Wikipedia. I don't believe you, but
I'm pretty sure this is the third year. But either way, like it was cool. Like the archetypes were fun. I like that you couldn't like max out your dude. I felt like, especially in like AA and AAA, it was a little bit more challenging.
Oh, okay. They did Pave Your Path last year, in which a player controls the progression of the player's career. The mode intercuts scenes that present the player with decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all the new stuff. But like, it's like when you know they're going to add a bunch more new stuff, do you really want to invest 100 hours in a mode when you're like, you know, I could play these other modes for now, and then next year Road to the Show is going to be really, really cool. And so that was kind of like my thing, is that I just spent my time in other modes. I mean, again, you know, franchise for the most part was kind of where I spent my time. And, you know, I'm definitely excited to try Road to the Show. Road to the Show used to be my go-to while I waited for the minor league rosters to be released.
So SFM rosters to get,
because usually you were looking at a 2 to 3 week window before those were out. So that's 2 to 3 weeks that you could spend, you know, playing Road to the Show. I am perfect for Road to the Show, Coop. I agree. Like, you mean me personally? Chiseled, veteran, good beard. Yeah.
You know what I just did? I just realized that I did not pull up the calendar to look at later. I failed.
Okay.
I did all this show prep, and then I still failed. All right. Next up, personalities. So I guess archetypes are going to kind of give you your physical attributes, and personality is going to change it up a little bit. Maybe this is kind of like a chemistry thing that we're going to start getting.
Yeah.
So didn't really go super deep into it, so we got to kind of wait and see on this one. But
yeah, I'm wondering if it'll have an effect like on what team you choose. So, like, for example, if you pick a team where you're a good personality fit, perhaps you'll progress faster. Perhaps you'll get ratings boosts. Whereas if you're on a team where your personality doesn't fit, it may hamper you. You may lose playing time. Like, I'm really hoping it's kind of more like the personality of your player actually has an effect on how you progress through the mode, as opposed to just your player has a personality and it shows. Because again, something we're going to talk about later, the new celebration, positive, negative animations. I hope the personality part of it is more than just how your player reacts on the field.
Right. All right. Next up, I saved the picture of the calendar for later. Next up, we got guys lifting weights. And there's going to be new weight training mini games. I got a bunch of stuff going on back there. So what I did want to pull up was, where do I get this image out of here? Image slideshow, go away. I'm currently in NBA 2K19, getting outside the Gatorade training facility. I just want to show you what kind of stuff they got in here. They got where you can run down this thing real fast and pump your legs. That's good times. You can do that jumpy onto a box thing in this game. They do have the bench press, some treadmills, some free weights, bounce a ball off a wall. Name for the thing where you sit down on your back, or you lay on your back, or you sit down and then you push the things up. Got a name for that?
I don't know.
All right, they got some other stuff here, and Gatorade, and you can dance through the little thingy things. Yeah, I kind of like what 2K is doing, and if they're going to do something similar in the show, I'm very happy.
Yeah,
as long as it's not like too hard to control sometimes.
Yeah, what I always worry about when they put mini games into career-based modes is, historically, to me, they seem quite gimmicky. You try them once, then you try them again. After that, you simulate the training.
You just put it on sim.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, like, I want them to be I want them to be like to matter and to be engaging in some way, so that it's not just, hey, I try this once because it's new and cool, and then I simulate them going forward because it's it's gimmicky and it's not worth wasting my time.
Yeah, I really liked them.
I hope they're useful.
Yeah, I really liked them in I don't remember if it was in NCAA or if it was in Madden. They had some stuff. It was probably NCAA, where you could go and do stuff on off days and things. So if they brought that in, that'd be cool. I'd be interested, as long as it helps and it's not like, oh, I did all this and I got half a bar towards another point. Like,
yeah. Again, that's the thing is this aspect of my career mode mini games. It's not a new thing, but again, can MLB The Show do it better and make it more engaging? Because again, it's not a new concept. It is for a baseball game, but again, is for me personally, like if it's just if they come off as gimmicky, it's something that you try one time and you don't really see the value to them when you can simulate past them and just play more games. So like I said, I hope they're done in a way that they seem engaging and fun to do and actually makes you want to do them.
Agreed. I cannot find out where I saved that thing. How disappointing
good.
is that? I found last year's. Oh, there's this year's. There we go. We can look at last year's thing if we want to later.
Last year's stream schedule?
Yeah, will that help?
That's the kind of service we provide here on Bullpen Banter.
Yeah.
The stream schedule from last year, we got you covered. Just feel free to ask. When was the Diamond Dynasty stream for MLB The Show 18? We got you covered.
We got you covered on that. If that's something you need to know, we definitely got it for you.
Absolutely.
Thing is not even in a good side.
Oh man,
I don't know what these guys are doing.
Hey, you know what? Listen, we're doing it live.
Doing it live. That's how we do it. Okay, dynamic challenges. So this looks like you're gonna be able to do a little bit of a wager on what's gonna happen in your next at bat. So I don't know if this is tied to personality or something. Maybe these boosts are tied to your personality a little bit somehow. So you come up to bat, swing on time for a hit, gets you a 75% bonus to your gains. Power swing on time for a hit gets you 125% bonus to your gains. Or you swing on time for a double or better, 150% bonus to your gains. That looks cool. Again, if we're going to get into Road to the Show this year, I think that'll be a cool little addition.
Probably for me, the most intriguing addition that I've seen so far. Again, it's a very strong RPG element, which again was something we talked about last week. If they're moving it more towards like a RPG experience in baseball, it's kind of cool, right? Like if you're playing a bunch of games and you're riding a bit of a slump, you're not rocking the sticks real well. It's a gamble, right? Like if you're struggling, you could really use those extra points, but at the same time, if you're struggling, do you really want to risk it?
Yeah, so
it adds a really interesting. And again, I think this is one of those things that it really works in baseball, and not really like I can't see this working in hockey or basketball, maybe football a little bit. But this is something I could really see working in baseball.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be anything negatively affecting you. At least on this screen, it only shows positive stuff. But I assume if you strike out, that's also not going to be good for you. So
yeah, that's the other thing. And again, all this is grain of salt, right? I mean, we're literally going to spend an hour to an hour and a half talking about 90 seconds of content. We're not all Ramon Russell out here doing it in 6 minutes.
Yeah, my whole thing is I just hope that it, like, I don't know, it's the good and bad, because if I'm doing Road to the Show, I want to get to the show, but then I also kind of want to stay in the minors for a little bit to have that experience.
To build your guy up.
Like if I just start smacking doubles and I get these 150 bonuses and I'm in the pros by the end of the year. Yeah, that's cool, but also it kind of feels not great. I don't know. I always feel like I get up quick and then I play like one season in the pros and then I stop playing.
Yeah, my big thing with it is, and I think the concern of a lot of people is going to be, is it going to be easy to make? Like, are you going to be able to abuse?
Right.
Like, and all of a sudden your guy is season 2 and you're a 95. And I think they've shown last year with like hard limit caps and things like that they're really trying to make it so that that's not possible. And I really hope that's still the case because, I mean, again, obviously the opposite side of that is, well, just don't do that.
Right.
But it's like, well,
but it's
in a mode in a mode where your goal is to get to the major leagues, some people are going to take shortcuts. You're going to be tempted to take shortcuts because the goal is to get to the big leagues. And then, like you said, you play a season or two and that's usually kind of it. But like I said, in terms of, they're all great elements, I think, for Road to the Show. But what ultimately happens is, how are they intertwined into the experience? If it's just a bunch of, like, it's obviously there's a pattern and there's a path. It's not just a bunch of new stuff thrown in. It's, how is it going to intertwine? How is one thing going to affect another? Road to the Show is the experience as a whole. And until we get into a stream and until you get your hands on it, you're really not going to know how all of these different, the training, the creation, the archetypes, the in-game challenges, how they're going to all intertwine, because they could be intertwined really, really well for a nice flowing experience, or it could just be informational overload where the side pieces become more important than playing the games.
I think you're trying to min-max your character the whole time. And
exactly. That for me is not ideal.
But for some people, that's
until
good.
we get,
they want to hit 9,000 home runs in Road to the Show. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to do, but yeah. Speaking of someone who made it to the show at the age of 19, in the year, wow, the year is also his age. The year 1900, none other than Christy Mathewson. Also got the little clippy imaging. So he's here. He's in the show. New legend added. Career record 373 and 188. A 2.13 ERA for his career. It's all right. Pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I don't think a lot of people had Christy Mathewson in the
that wasn't on the
Legends reveal pool. Yeah, I didn't see the Vegas betting odds on Christy Mathewson the show. I'm a big fan though. I think, and maybe this is just being a jaded OTP guy now, but I really don't feel like MLB The Show traditionally dips into the early 1900s.
And they're doing it this year,
so I mean, and we've already seen another one we'll talk about later, but I feel like I really can't remember, like, outside of, like, I think the Babe would be probably the oldest player they've had, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen an 1800s player. And like, I mean, and I think prior to the Babe, it was Ted Williams, which was late 30s, early 40s. So, I mean, it's, as a baseball historian, it's really cool to see them go back and grab some of these players. So I hope it's something we're going to see more of. Like, I hope that this is not just like a 1-2 off. Like, I really hope this is going to be, we're going to see a few more of these guys trickle in over time.
I wonder how it's gonna work out with trying to get them normalized into today's baseball. Because, like,
yes,
was I watching? I think something I was watching was like Christy Mathewson or was it Christy Mathewson or now I don't remember. Christy Mathewson or someone else.
Christy Mathewson threw 3 complete games in the same 5-game World Series.
Yeah, I think it was someone else, but they were saying like they topped out at like 88 miles per hour.
Yeah,
and nobody could hit them.
Yeah,
but so do you put that in the show as they pitch 88 miles per hour, or do you normalize it to they pitch 96 miles per hour? Because if you count for inflation, that's what they would actually be doing. And like, if you look at him, he didn't strike out a ton of people back then, but that's because not a ton of people struck out back then. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get these cards looking for to go up against modern players.
Yeah, you and I have a bit of experience with this in OTP, right? Like, because we wondered the same thing with Perfect Team. How would they take these, guys from 100 years ago,
like Old Hoss Radburn, as
old Hoss Radburn, by the way, just released in Perfect Team last week. Check it out, OTP Perfect Team on Twitter.
Yeah, I think you have to say hashtag ad when you say that.
Hashtag ad. Yeah, I'm not getting paid right now. That one was free.
We do have that question coming up later that we'll need to answer.
Yeah, that was a freebie. But it's gonna be it's a different animal with MLB The Show, right? Like in Perfect Team, it's simulated experience. Everything's handled on the back end. You don't have to worry about how the card plays in the user's hand because it's a simulated experience. So with MLB The Show, it's going to be different, right? Like you can't have Christy Mathewson out there throwing 87 miles an hour and being able to pitch 14 innings a game.
If you give them that 125 stamina, maybe you can.
But there's going to have to be, like, they're going to have to do some. And I really, this is one of those things where traditionally Sony would not go on the stream and say, this is how we normalize these guys. That's usually information they don't. But we've seen already sprinkles in the differences in their marketing and then being a little more communicative than usual.
I'm forgetting. Do you remember how hard Bob Feller threw last year?
Bob Feller threw mid-90s, I think.
Yeah. Which is accurate to what they think he actually threw when they were using like radar to determine how fast they were throwing.
Yeah. Like I would love it if they came out on the stream and they said, listen, this is how we make Christy Mathewson work in the MLB The Show, because if we put him in how he actually was, he would be hot garbage. Like I would love that because again, coming from the other side of the baseball fence, I know how we do it.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how they do it for a graphical controller in your hand experience. I think it'd be really cool. But I mean, I'm a big fan of Christy Mathewson. I love pitching and I love old school pitchers. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, he was letting up like 9. Some years he was giving up like 8-9 hits per 9.
Yeah,
but literally no home runs.
Yeah, well, there was no home runs back then anyway,
and nobody was walking and nobody was striking out. It was just guys. They were just letting him put the ball in play. So I want to see what that looks like in this year's.
Agreed.
What do we got next? The guy that's already wrong, JT.
That's gotta hurt, right?
That's a stinger right there.
You release a guy in a trailer, and it's hilarious because I saw Ramon responded to a tweet where some idiot,
some chucklehead,
had called them out about the
red jerseys, the
jerseys were updated, but the trim on the wall, like just idiots. Guys, don't be that idiot on Twitter, please.
I need one of these new Marlins hats.
Yeah. And then Ramon was like, like probably because it was, we focused on the jersey, the part that everybody sees. Right. We'll fix the wall later. And then dude gets traded 2 days later. And it's like,
and it's funny because you can't do your cover reveal because you're waiting for the cover athlete to sign somewhere.
So it's just, I know the guys in the marketing just like, throw us a bone, please, one time.
And also in this clip from the video, the face looks real clear, looks real good. I really think they redid the faces this year or got new scans of everybody. I really think they look a lot better. We'll see that again coming up in somebody else too. Yeah, new faces look great. Next up, old face, Tony Gwynn. It looks good. Chunky Tony Gwynn is my favorite Tony Gwynn. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like mid-90s Tony Gwynn.
Chunky Tony Gwynn still had speed. Was still stealing bags. Still hitting triples.
He was after my heart. He was a deceptively fast big guy.
Yeah, that's what
not unlike myself.
That's the life we lead. I want to say, did he I feel like at 37 years old, stole 12 bags.
Yeah.
I want to say stole 12 bags. Where are we here? Yeah. He hit a couple triples here and there. In 1990, 1991, he had 10 and 11 triples, 13 and 87. Speaking of 87, I guess that's when we get back to thin Tony Gwynn, when he's got a stash and he's got speed.
Yep.
Yeah, so it looks like now we're going to have body types. We're also going to see it in a minute with Andrew McCutcheon. Now it looks like flashbacks and legends in their different versions of their cards are going to have different body types and matching faces to go along with it. In past years, it's always been the same player model, no matter which version of it was. So I think this is a great addition. Makes everybody look real.
Yeah.
More era appropriate. So Coop can get his sweet hair on his guys.
Yeah, I've seen a portion of people who are like, I don't care. That doesn't make any difference to me. Like, because it's the card.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I like this.
Yeah.
Again, I like to be able to see again a difference between Tony Gwynn over the course of 7 years, or the McCutcheon. Like it's more realistic
mm-hmm.
for especially because I mean obviously this is going to play primarily in Diamond Dynasty. But again, in a mode that is often, very fantasy based, this gives it a little more realism. Again, it's not going to be for everyone. Some people are just going to be like, whatever. But I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's, like when Brian McCann's you're gonna have the Brian McCann live series card. He's gonna have his beard, but then you're gonna have a Brian McCann, maybe a Yankees flashback, no beard. So actually, literally everybody with the Yankees that had a beard on their point, if they have a Yankee card, should now have no beard. So
yeah, once they released 5 Reggie Stalker cards,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna have thin Reggie Stalker, buff Reggie Stalker, super buff Reggie Stalker,
and then the most super buff Reggie Stalker, and then he shrunk back down.
It kind of weird. And then current hitting coach Reggie Stalker.
Mm-hmm. He's still the hitting coach out there somewhere. I don't think he's with the Marlins anymore.
I don't know.
All right, next up, Jose Ramirez. Can't tell if he's excited or upset about this hit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember.
It's a hard read.
But again, face looks great. I really think they updated all the faces, and they're going to tell us that in one of the streams.
Yeah, I think it shows that they really did put a lot of effort in, for sure.
So jersey looks great, patches on it. Should I talk about the one thing that I don't think anybody noticed, that I assume is because it happened, or the reveal happened after this trailer was made? I did notice that nobody is rocking the MLB 150th anniversary patch on the right sleeve. I first knew about it from sportslogos.net, which is where you get all your hot sports logos stuff from. When they showed I want to say it was Nelson Cruz's team picture with the Twins, they showed the patch on the right sleeve. There's going to be a little thing. I think it says like MLB, the MLB logo, and then 150 next to it. We'll see if they add that in. I did ask the OOTP devs if they're going to put that in. I don't have a contact at RBI Baseball, but I'm going to assume it's not in there.
We can make a call.
I'm going to make a call on that one. What else? But yeah, like with Chris Sale, there's going to be more personality, more reactions when they do good stuff, do bad stuff. Much like Anthony Rizzo being very upset about flying out and slamming his bat down to the ground. I did like...
Yeah.
So, one thing they talked about in the breakdown was when you watch the Rizzo swing, in the first split second of it, it's almost the animation that he hit a home run, and then it switches to the animation of he realized he didn't hit a home run. Yeah. So I wonder if is that one animation, or is that literally 2 animations, where if you make really good contact, you kind of get hyped for a second.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's a pop-up to the second baseman, and you slam your bat down.
Yeah, it's funny. As a Blue Jays fan, because I kind of missed that part, in the original trailer, and I watched, Ramon's breakdown, and I'm like, okay, I see it now. And then immediately in my head as a Jays fan, I thought Buck Martinez would have yelled, swinging a drive, and then it would have landed in front of the right fielder, for a flyout, because he's just awful. He does it all the time. But that's kind of how you react, right? You watch enough baseball, it doesn't matter. You see that swing and you see that ball go up in the air, and you think, oh man, he got it. And then it's like a 200-foot pop out, and you're like, God, what happened?
If you watch enough baseball with bad commentators, shout outs to John Sterling, who on a Hideki Matsui fly ball, who's like, oh my God, he got all of it. And literally the right fielder was standing 15, 20 feet shy of the warning track, and literally just caught a can of corn. And he was so hyped for it. I think he had no idea where the ball was hit.
Buck Martinez does this multiple times a game.
Hey, man.
He really does. it's swinging a drive, and then the ball like will land 10 feet in front of the track, and it's just he'd be like swinging a drive. Oh, drive.
I feel like I had to change my camera last year, or my fielding camera, I think, because I felt like I crushed everything, and it was just like, no, actually, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm interested. I would like to know if it's literally a branching animation or if it's just the animation. That'd be interesting to find out.
But on a second view, it looked cooler than when I watched it the first. When I watched the non-broken down.
Yeah, once you knew what you were looking at, it was a lot cooler.
It was one of those little things that you miss in a trailer that has a metric ton of information.
Mm-hmm. Well, literally, there were some screens I felt that they were in here that they were just waiting for us to just go in the screen cap.
Yeah,
they're like, we're going to show you this for a half second and then keep going. Oh, look at this! I'm actually wearing this Boston Red Sox hat that Chris Sale is wearing in the picture.
Oh, look at that.
With the New Era logo. So, yeah, he's pumped. I feel like they put all this stuff in. You know what? I'm going to call it right now. Jabba Chamberlain flashback. He invented the fist pump. I don't know if you remember this.
Chris Sale did?
No, Jabba Chamberlain invented the fist pump. Remember
nice.
This?
Mildly.
Next up, another body guy changing. Andrew McCutchen. They got the Phillies. They did call out in the breakdown that he was issued the wrong number. Well, wasn't issued the wrong number.
Yeah.
He didn't get his number issued to him until after
the
video was cut.
They own that one. They wore it. They wore it.
Too fast. So yeah, they have they have new Andrew McCutchen, and they have old Andrew McCutchen back with the Pirates with his dreads and everything. Does he still have the earring in the new one? I don't have an angle to see if he's got the earring. Andrew McCutchen looks real cool.
I think the Phillies are okay with earrings. I want to say they are.
I feel like they had Arthur Rhodes, so I think they have to be okay with it, right? Somebody give me a spell check if Arthur Rhodes was on the Phillies at some point. Remember, Lee Arthur Rhodes. You know what? Arthur Rhodes would be a good card for Diamond Dynasty. Another good lefty reliever.
Yeah, but once they institute the rule where you got to pitch to 3 batters, man, he's done.
Also true. Oh my god,
he's done. He's done for.
So what I do want to say is,
let's not go down this rabbit hole.
I think on the podcast feed, I do want to do maybe in between full bullpen banter shows, I might do little mound visits where I just talk about one little topic or something. I kind of want to go over that because I think that 3 batter thing kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like I said, I'm going to start tweeting out trolls. I tweeted one out earlier. You can follow me on Twitter at SnaggleJ, saying that they're going to institute a 25 non-fastball maximum for starters.
That would make sense.
25 junk pitches. Everything else has to be a fastball.
Got to bring them heaters.
Yep, exactly. That's going to up the offense.
Next up, we got Mark Trumbo being quite lost, which is good. So here's
hilarious.
So I was thinking about this again. So I don't know if you saw me on the Twitters at ThatSportsGamer. Give me the follow. See if Snaggle, if you're gonna
might as well. Cheap pops, baby, cheap pops.
What it's all about. We were talking about kind of what you would want in a competitive version of the show. Would you want them? You wouldn't want them taking wrong routes to start, right?
In esports?
Yeah, if they made it the Madden competitive version, you just take this out, right?
Yeah, you gotta take that out. Yeah, 100%. Can't have that in esports. And I know, again, we're opening a can of worms by even saying that, but that kind of stuff in an esports setting, can't have it. Now, to be fair, if guys were playing esports, hopefully, okay.
Well, they would still be. They should still be trashing left field with or without the animation.
Esport, yeah, if you were playing a baseball esport and you have Mark Trumbo as your left fielder, I mean, just give up, just quit the game, go home.
But Trumbo. Okay?
Fair.
You need Trumbo.
But yeah, but that's the thing is, in an esports setting, you can't have that. You just can't.
Let me open up a bigger esports can of worms. Lowercase e, capital S.
Yeah, it's lowercase e. It's like iPod.
That's how I go.
Yeah, me too. But again, you can't. And I'm coming at this from the perspective of people who would play said esports. And I think if you got 50 of the top MLB The Show players in a room, you might find one or two that think this is okay, and the rest of them would be like, "Nah, man, we can't have that kind of RNG." They want it to be based on skill. In regular Diamond Dynasty, I'm okay with it because if you're putting Mark Trumbo in left field, you have to expect some sort of liability for it. Like, it's one of those things. But again, if you're going full esports, you can't have that. In my opinion.
Cardinals Red says in the chat says you want guys playing out of position if you're playing esports. Trumbo, I assume, has left field as a secondary. I would assume.
Yeah, I'm assuming in Diamond Dynasty, especially with no DH, he would have to have corner field eligibility.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's the other thing that makes this stuff kind of weird is like you really kill people that are professional DHs because you're putting them out there and they're going to be even. So in theory, they're going to be even worse this year.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't play Edgar Martinez.
Mark Trumbo played 152 innings in the outfield last
year. A career 1,000 innings in left field.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2,200 in right. So
yeah, he did play. Yeah, he played quite a bit of outfield earlier in his career.
None of it good, but he played quite a bit of it.
2016 was the last time he played regular innings in the outfield, like all the time. Like he played 95 games in the outfield in 2016, and then he moved to a DH.
Next up, the sweet Dansby Swanson running up to tag the guy out on the Phillies. Always good to see Dansby tagging out a Philly. So they talked about this in the breakdown a little bit, and we kind of inferred it from some of these clips. I think it's called, what is it? They gave it a fancy name, 2.0. Like defensive awareness or positional awareness. So Swanson knows that the guy is running home from third, so he's going to go out there, try to make this tag rather than just standing on the bag and waiting and then throwing. He's going to go make the tag, try to get the ball home as fast as he can. Great. Love it. I hope it's awesome. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I was typing in the chat. No, I agree. I think it was, to me, the Swanson play maybe was the most impressive part of the trailer.
Well, because it's Dansby Swanson.
Yes, but to me, I saw that, full disclosure, I watched this trailer on mute in a work training class when it came out.
I watched it maybe 3 or 4 times on mute when it came out.
I almost jumped out of my chair when I saw that Swanson play because I was like, whoa, that was smooth as silk. The tag, the spin, the throw on the money, got the guy at the plate. I'm like, that's the baseball game I want to play right there. That is the game I want to play.
I'm excited.
Now, the biggest thing with these is, and I hate to go back. I know we try not to talk about 18 because of the bad experiences that you and I both have with it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Never even heard of it.
Is this going to be one of those things that you're going to see more in franchise because franchise is a little smoother offline experience than in Diamond Dynasty where you have servers and things to deal with? I hope that's not the case.
And I think one of the real big differences is, I don't want to say the CPU is going to give itself up at some outs on some plays, but I feel like on this play, if this is an online game, that guy's going to turn back and run back to third base. He's not just going to get thrown out at home. And I hope that there's enough branches in all these new animations that I can kill the throw going home and make a quick throw to third, or I can just in that spin where he comes home just throw it straight to third base. That's the real thing I want. I don't want that to just be one long animation and now I'm stuck with that throw at home when this guy turned around and I could have just thrown to third and got him.
Yeah, like this is one of those things that is really, really, really cool to see, but how is it going to work in an actual live game? Again, it's easy to replicate it in a trailer setting. And like I said, for me, it was maybe the best part of the trailer was that 5-second span of the Swanson play.
And it's funny because that clip is the thing that got me like really, really excited, and then like really, really scared if it's not done really, really well.
Yes.
But now that we're talking about it, I'm actually way more excited than I was even when I saw it the first time.
My two issues with it are, how is it going to work in real-time live speed with things like you mentioned, throw canceling, whatever, and how is it going to work offline versus online? You know, those are my two big things. It looks really cool. It looks amazing. I'm excited to see all these different animations that they put in, but those are my two big questions I need answered. How is it going to work in real time, and how is it going to work online versus offline?
And on top of this, they also showed the Matt Chapman cruising over, touching third base, and then making the big throw over to first base. Looked real good. Love it. Really excited. Everything we just said about the last play, say it about this one again. Next up, we got some chalk kicking up. I don't know if chalk was ever a thing before. Maybe it was only a PS4 Pro exclusive.
I don't know. I don't think okay, first of all, I'm not 100% sure that ball wasn't foul. I watched it
the chalk
10
kicked
times.
Up. It's fair.
Yeah, I know, but it looked like the ball landed not on the line, is what I'm saying.
Now, here's my question. Now that we have chalk physics, can we go to the rosin bag and have rosin physics?
Because I swear to God, if someone can go to the rosin bag and Diamond, quit.
Why? It's in all my Pro Baseball Spirits games, and I really, really hope it's in Pro Baseball Spirits 29.
Stop.
That would be so cool.
Stop it.
Also, in the breakdown, they were talking about this. This clip was actually just showing there's going to be a whole bunch more variable hit types and stuff, or ball reactions off the bat and stuff like that.
Which we saw a lot of during the thing we're not allowed.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about. Next up.
But now that they're out there in a trailer, can we talk about it now? No, I guess not really.
Never.
Redacted. Comment redacted.
You know, we can talk about Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
Ty Cobb.
In the game.
Tiberius J. Cobb. What are your thoughts?
Probably the one legend that there was maybe a little bit of doubt as to who it was.
Did he? Yeah, we thought there was some thought that it might be
Yastrzemski.
Yaz.
Because of the Fenway Park, he kind of looked a little similar to Yaz. But Yaz didn't play center, blah, 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 blah. I'm glad it's Ty Cobb. I again, of course, immediately everyone's like, well, if you can't hit with contact hitters, Ty Cobb is useless. I don't think that's going to be as big an issue as it was in 18 at all.
Yeah, really, that's like the number one thing. If contact hitters are viable, I'm going to love this game a lot. And if it's not, I'm going to be angry again like I was last year probably.
As part of the new personality system, can I spike the third baseman when I'm sliding in there for a triple as Ty Cobb? Because Ty Cobb would do that.
Personality to sharpen your cleats, and he's got to get that better traction when you're running. I got to sharpen them up.
Yeah, it's
Ty Cobb started in 1905, so Christy Mathewson's 1900.
We're getting back there, man.
Still leading the clubhouse.
We're getting back there.
And then another legend coming up, Jason Kendall, your favorite.
Jason Kendall. I'm a big fan of catchers, period. I like Jason Kendall. That's cool. Again, another good addition. I think you can never have enough catchers in baseball video games. Again, we see that in Perfect Team a lot. People always scrambling for catcher recommendations. I think MLB The Show has been, the same over the years, always scrambling. I mean, we've stuck to using flashback Salty so often because catcher's just so thin sometimes.
Did you hear the news?
That he retired?
Salty retired.
Didn't we break that news on Bullpen Banter last week, or was that on?
News? We might have broken that news.
Or was that on OTP Now? We're on.
I think it was on OTP Now. It might have been.
I think it was on OTP Now. We broke the news that Salty had called it quits.
Kendall's going to be a real if contact hitting works well. Kendall had a couple of seasons of over 320. Not a ton of power, but it's catcher. You're not really looking for that. You want probably looking for more defense contact. He got some speed too, if I remember correctly. Ended up stealing. Well, this can't be right. He ended up stealing 189 bases.
Yeah, he had a bit of speed.
I'm surprised it's that high. Yeah, Had a couple 20. What do we got? 26, 22, 22, 13, 15. So you're gonna have good contact, good speed from a catcher with good defense.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good combination.
He's gonna be an interesting card for sure. Again, catchers, that one position, especially in Diamond Dynasty, where there is a lot of guys who build speed-based teams and try to take advantage of the run game. Kendall, good contact, good defense, could be an interesting choice. I expect to be probably a high 80s, depending on what version of them they have.
Put them in there.
Yeah.
All right, what we got next up? I'm not looking at my thing. Double play being turned by the Yankees. They said they added a whole bunch of more double play animations, and I think the home run celebrations were actually in right before this clip, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, more home run animations. Because they recorded a bunch of stuff last year that I don't think they actually ended up putting in. But it looks like some of that stuff's in there now. All new double play combinations. Love it. All that stuff. Make the game look as real as possible. Give me all the animations.
Yep, all of them.
Oh, you know what? I marked to make a video of the double play, but then I didn't do the double play. And there was also the other one where the Brewers second baseman with the long name,
Corey Spangenberg,
gets on the path for the double play, and instead of tossing it because he's in the better position, he takes it by himself and rolls the DP. Loved that. So wasn't
lost on me that in Ramon breakdown he just called him Corey as to not try to butcher Spangenberg.
Hey man, you gotta be careful.
But then I remembered Spangenberg was a Padre for a while, so maybe him and Ramon are on a first name. But I mean, if it was me breaking it down, I would have called him Corey or the second baseman, because I'm not about to try to butcher Spangenberg in a video on YouTube.
I just would have gone Corey SpongeBob.
Corey SpongeBob.
I feel like that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I mean, for you and I on Bullpen Banter, that's fine.
I'm going to check.
For STS on an official channel, Corey SpongeBob probably not going to get it done.
I double checked on Baseball Reference. Spangy? Spangy's a valid nickname for him?
Spangy.
It does have the pronunciation of his name. Spangenberg. Pretty easy. Not tough.
Okay. Hey, I'd like the record to point out that I pronounced his name correctly. Can I just say that?
I do appreciate it.
Everyone heard that. I pronounced his name correctly for a change.
My favorite pronunciation is still... I feel like Baseball Reference added pronunciations not too long ago. Because I feel like MLB always had the pronunciations. But Baseball Reference does have my favorite pronunciation now.
Yeah.
Page.
I think they've had the BB Refs had them for a while, but I think they've been putting a little more effort into them. I think they redid them maybe 2 years ago. I feel like they redid the way they look and had them like redone phonetically to be a little more easier to read. But that just could all be me blowing.
Next up, we got one of the nasty boys, Rob Dibble, in the game with his super dope leg kick. That should be easy to pick up when you're pitching or when you're hitting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
If I do a closer and work the show, might use Rob Dibble's windup.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Again,
big fan. Oh, just real quick on the Dibble. Big fan of Dibble. I think.
Do we get a Norm Carlton now?
Maybe closers a little deep in the Diamond Dynasty realm.
But they're giving you options. I'm all for options.
I'm all for options. I wonder if he's going to be good enough to be, he might get lost in the shuffle later in the season as well.
Hopefully not.
No, hopefully not. Indeed.
Next up, more celebrations and stuff, including but not limited to the double shaka.
I was wondering if you were going to include the double shaka in the show. I know you're a big fan. I seen it and I was like, I wonder if that's going to be on the rundown. And because I was extremely prepared, I didn't look at the rundown before the show. And then I see it there, double shaka. So I'm glad you picked up on that one.
What else we got here? They do the celebration in the dugout with the Astros, where they'll just kind of stare at the camera.
I like it.
A good one. Fan. They got the Diamondbacks playing in the outfield, which is always fun. And then we got a video. I don't have a video. I didn't take the video of this. Max Muncy bobbling a ball at first base. But now with, I don't know if this is part of that recognition 2.0 stuff, but now he's able to get back to his feet and make a backhanded toss to first base. And now it's not just like they made an error, boo hoo, we're gonna go cry about it. Now they're actually gonna get back up and make the play.
Yeah, defensive urgency. Oh man, I'm all in.
Give me all of the defensive urgency.
Yeah, defensive urgency is huge for me.
Next up, Babe Ruth career progress. It's you 75,000 XP and 10,000 stubs. I don't know what this is. Do you think this is going to be kind of like a replacement for Immortals? Is this going to be some sort of Road to the Show thing? I forgot to go back and check. In the past, you used to be able to go into Road to the Show, create a new guy, and you could actually choose if you wanted to be like one of the current players in the game.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to create your guy. It would be kind of cool if you go into Road to the Show and you're like, I want to be Babe Ruth, and I want him to get built up as Babe Ruth. Or maybe you go in at key like maybe this is one of those situational things where you are going through Babe Ruth's career and you're like, let's go play the game where he points, and then we got to hit a home run in that at bat. So there's a lot of ways that this could work out.
Yeah,
and I hope it's not just like hit 715 home runs in Diamond Dynasty. With
yeah, I'm wondering. My initial, I was trying to think of something outside the box that could be, explaining what this is. I'm wondering, the best idea I could come up with, not best idea, but where my head kind of went is, if they did away with the way you unlock Immortals. So, like, for example, Babe Ruth would have a career arc to unlock, say, that 89 Babe Ruth.
Mm.
And then you have to hit those stat thresholds to unlock the Immortal.
And this is just that new screen for
maybe, that? Like, instead of doing all the other things you had to do to unlock the, this is somehow a career arc tied into, like, unlocking a 99. I mean, again, we could sit here. You and I could spend 3 hours coming up with all the different ways this could be implemented in the game.
Right,
we really could. No, I mean, it's Thursday. I still have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
But it's one of those things, like I said, where it's cool, it's new, it's different. Right off the bat, though, gigantic stat-based missions, I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. I'm never going to be a fan.
Mm-hmm. Even small ones like hitting 10 doubles with Joe Torre.
Yeah.
Not going to be a fan. Forever. Never going to be a fan.
You have the screenshot up that has the totals that you need for this particular thing, right? Or do you?
I do not.
Okay. So, like, I mean, again, if gigantic stat totals, I'm like, okay, is this another grinding thing? Which I'm extremely not a fan of, and not necessarily against. I mean, I get it. Obviously, there's some grinding in every game, but I just don't have the time to do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm never going to get these cards. I'm never going to be able to complete those, whatever those new things are. So but I do hope, again, it's all spitballing until they tell us what they're about and how they're going to work. We really have no idea. But it's new. It could be cool.
Oh, by the way, Situational Awareness 2.0.
That's what it was called.
So yeah, okay. So this, because I just pulled up the developer content calendar, because I was thinking maybe this could be part of that Moments game mode.
Yeah. Which
that would make sense if your thing is you're Babe Ruth, you're going in for his first at bat, hit a home run. You're in this part, you're super old Babe Ruth, hit that home run where he retires. I feel like Babe Ruth's only hitting home runs. Maybe you come in as the pitcher and you throw that shutout that he threw. That could be, I could see that being this, which would make sense. Maybe they have, 20 things in his career, and that's what gets you the 10,000 stubs. And maybe in doing that, I don't know if it's going to be I guess it would be offline or online. I don't know how they're going to do it. Doesn't matter how they implement it. But yeah, if there's like 20 things to go through, and maybe that's how you unlock the different versions of him. Like, just go through as time. And if Immortals are still a thing, when you finish the whole thing, maybe you get the Immortal, or you get a piece needed for the Immortal. There's
Okay, so follow-up question now that we've used the I word. Yes or no? Do you think there will be Immortals in MLB The Show 9?
I'm gonna say yes. I think they'll be back. I feel like you can't. It's tough because that's a real cool idea. I don't know if it was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
And I would love to see them go back and give it another chance.
Yeah.
Because
my answer is, yeah, I'm a yes, but I think they changed the way that you achieve them.
Yeah, I think you got to just completely overhaul the way you achieve them.
Yes.
I wouldn't hate if they became sellable.
Ooh.
In case you're the kind of person that doesn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just saying.
I think that's probably an unlikely scenario, but
Never know. You never know.
No. I really don't.
Or what if you initially get an unsellable version and then you can do more to it to make it a sellable one? Huh? I don't know. Because there's stuff in Madden where you
can... Sorry, I muted myself because I was sneezing.
Good.
Again, I think that there will be Immortals. I mean, whether they're called Immortals or not, you're still going to have that core group of historical 99
Do you
overalls.
think there will be super versions of historical players?
Yeah.
I think I would say they still call them Immortal.
I think so. I don't think you roll out a program like that and kill it after 1 year because of some negative feedback.
The real question is, do you remove some? Do you just add some? Like, does Bob Gibson not have an Immortal this year? Do you get all the same Bob Gibson cards? He doesn't get one. Or are you just adding more Immortals to go out and get?
I would love to see turnover in the Immortals, for sure. I would love to see turnover. I'm not going to sit here and say which ones they should take out and which ones they should leave in. But I would love to see turnover in the Immortals, for sure. Keep it fresh. Keep it different. Yeah, 100%.
Next up. So we thought this was the franchise team select screen. But now, I don't know, the way Ramon said it in the breakdown, it definitely does not sound like that's what this is. But in the other trailer, I think they showed it with other franchise stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the franchise pick screen. I mean, you're not gonna be able to convince me otherwise.
I don't know, when he said it in the trailer, I don't believe it, but there was like a little hint of the way he pronounced the words, or just the way he said it, that it sounded like maybe this was something different, and then that it kind of gets followed up not too long later by the Conquest map. Maybe this is something like I don't know. Select team. I want to say it's franchise. Franchise seems like the most obvious thing.
Yes, absolutely. I can't see any other thing that it would,
especially with all the terminology,
logically make sense.
Again, how it's breaking it out. Yeah. There's just something about the way he said it in the breakdown that made me thinking about it. So maybe we'll find that out. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back and listen to it a couple more times, see how he says it. Maybe we'll have some follow up for next week. Next up, Diamond Dynasty Choice Pack. Which, okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it. You know what? I was wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong too.
I was wrong because what I thought this was the, and could still be, because I assume this is going to be how you're going to start off Diamond Dynasty anyway. I assume these choice packs were your start of Diamond Dynasty, like how you did it last year. You know, you would get, what was it, 5 packs? Or it was like 5 positional packs that you would pull cards from, and then you would make your choice.
Yeah.
But the way Ramon made it sound like, that this is just going to be an entirely new card pack that you can buy from the store.
Yeah.
Are you interested in that?
I mean, obviously, I'm interested in it.
Well, I hope you are. You know why? Because this is something that Madden has, and you know what I told Nikki Nat in the chat. First off, amazing. Nikki Nat in the chat, my new favorite thing to say. I got Madden over here pulled up. We're gonna rip Super Bowl Legends Fantasy Pack, just so I can show you guys how it works in Madden. So Madden, they have 3 tiers. 3 tiers for these packs. Some packs have 1 tier. Some packs have multiple tiers. Right. So they'll give you. So in Madden, the way it is, you'll get to look at all these cards, and then for the Super Bowl Legends pack, I get 3 choices for the first round. Obviously, going to take the golds. This high guy. but those aren't important. Second round, you only get 2 choices, and these are a little bit better cards. Ooh, power up. I want power ups in the show. Interesting thought. Maybe we should talk about you don't do power ups in Madden, do you? You didn't even play Madden this year.
I did, yeah. I played it for quite a while.
We should talk about.
I did do power up cards.
I feel like power ups could be something interesting in Madden.
In MLB The Show, you mean?
Yeah, in MLB The Show. I don't know who Joe Mixon is.
He's a running back.
Eddie George. I've been pulling Eddie George like it's my job over here. 87, Danny Amendola. He's the most. We're gonna take that one. So yeah, you can go through the different levels of these fantasy packs in Madden. Pick the cards that you want out of them, and then you get to get them all the ones you picked. Now, see, the reason why that I initially thought that this was from the Road to the Show startup screen is if you look in the bottom above the word gameplay on your stream right now, it says view previous selections. So I do wonder. So I thought initially this was when you're starting your Diamond Dynasty team. You need to know who you just picked so that you don't pick 3 catchers or something. But so right. I do wonder if this is going to let you know who you've already taken in like a 3-tier pack like the one in Madden. So
yeah,
that'd be kind of interesting.
I'm at the very least I'm intrigued. I mean, again, it's a different way to do packs, something that has been well documented in MLB The Show to be a not a loved thing in the community with odds and things like that. But giving people a different way to do it, I think it's going to be cool. Again, just like anything else, how it's going to work in application, what they're actually going to give you. Are there going to be different tiers of them? But at the very least, I'm intrigued.
Nick Nett in the chat also brought up some of the stuff they did to Draft Champions that he's not a fan of. We should probably at some point, maybe after the Diamond Dynasty stream, we should talk about Battle Royale a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's just something I never got into. I can't win 12 games in a row. I just can't do it. So I just avoided that mode like the plague.
Yeah, I suck at it.
But Draft Champions, they give you a lot of high-rated cards. But I do wonder if Diamond Dynasty would try to do something like that and add maybe another 1 or 2 gold rounds. Take out some commons or something.
Yeah, I've seen that mentioned in the community quite a bit. Would they like to see Diamond Dynasty be more high end in terms of roster construction?
In BR.
Yeah, in BR. Yeah, in BR specifically. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, it's an interesting concept for sure. Definitely worth discussing. Something we can talk about when we get to the Diamond Dynasty stream.
Next up, the new Conquest map,
which is sooner rather than later. Man, oh man.
New Conquest map with the 19 and only a couple teams. So I wonder if there's going to be multiple ways of playing Conquest. Because I would assume the US map is coming back, and maybe this is just a little something different. Maybe just a new version.
Yeah.
How would you do this? I'm just trying to think. How would you jump? I guess they do kind of connect together if you pushed them.
Well, they covered that in the breakdown, right? That there's going to be a bunch of different Conquest maps.
Yeah. So I wonder how you jump from one to another, like jump from the 1 to the 9 right now.
Yeah, and again, like I suggested last week, the 19 would be like Conquest Beginner. Mm-hmm. Then you have the US map, which would be like Conquest Normal, and then maybe a different map for Conquest Extreme, like the World, a globe or something, or a gigantic full screen map. Maybe there's going to be a bunch of different levels to Conquest.
Mm-hmm. And this would be good for some of that stuff. Like some of those things last time were like beat the entire AL West in 6 turns, which was kind of a pain. And I felt like, all right, I have to go watch a YouTube video now to figure out how to actually do that. And maybe they're kind of streamlining that a little bit more with some of this stuff.
One of my best performing YouTube videos of all time was from MLB The Show 17, how to beat the Tampa Bay Rays in 5 turns.
You just go straight at them.
I know, but people struggled.
Yeah,
and I'm like, man, it was a simple concept, literally beeline right for them. But
and you had to beat someone. You had to beat someone on a decent difficulty, right, to get a couple extra moves in there or something.
Yeah,
We
I
had to
can't
play the
remember
Rays on
now.
tough difficulty, something like that.
It was,
There was a
you
way
had
to
to
do it.
play the difficulty against the Rays was elevated for sure.
Yeah. And then last but not least, in the trailer, they rolled out their new super legend. None other than the great Willie Mays. And his sweet back reverse catch. Also, you know what my favorite part of the video is, obviously.
The hat coming off?
This is why we work so well together.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it goes straight up to Canada and right back into my ears because you say it back to me. I love it.
Not going to be in the game.
Yeah. It's got to be in the game. You don't show me it in a trailer. No. Not going to be in the game.
It is a trailer to represent the catch. Hats falling off the outfielders, in my opinion, is not going to be a thing.
No, it's going to be there. They're going to have a whole video. There's going to be a whole. I'm going to check right now. There might be a whole stream dedicated to hats coming off.
I feel like if it was a thing, Ramon would have mentioned in the breakdown that thing. It seems like the kind of thing that you would have mentioned. Again, I hope I'm wrong because I think it'd be cool.
Oh no, I save that. I save that for the big stream.
The fact that he didn't mention, because that's not something that people are going to come out to watch a Twitch stream to see if a hat can fall off.
You want to know? I'm there with bells on.
Yeah,
I'd leave work early.
You're in the minority. I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like a kind of thing that he would not have mentioned. I don't think it's in the game.
You go there.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Right away, you got guys mentioning the Babe thing. It's meant to represent that. Because here's the thing. Let's flip this around. If you have clip of the Willie Mays play.
Pause. You can do the Babe thing, technically. I think, right? Is that not one of the delay things? Like when Sonic would tap his foot? I think you can do I think there's the animation for the point in one of those cutscenes.
But that's not the same.
Same to me, buddy.
But here's my thing, right? If you have that Mays play in the trailer and his hat doesn't come off.
See, Neely knows what I'm talking about. Continue.
Like, if his hat doesn't, people will be claiming it wasn't historically accurate.
Well, let me tell you why.
Again, I'm just saying hats coming off is not going to be in the game.
I'm going to say they are, and let me tell you why. One simple reason. Bryce Harper, cover athlete. You find me any video of Bryce Harper running the bases. You know what he does? It's not that his hat falls off. Bryce Harper goes in and pushes his hat off. Mine didn't fall off. There we go. I'm calling it right now. Hats and helmets can come off. It's in the game. It's in the game.
That's a different company. Copyright infringement.
I don't know if that's true. You know what? Yes. They stopped making a baseball game. I'm going to say whatever I want about them.
Anyway, we'll agree to disagree. One of us is going to be right. The other one is going to be wrong. And again, I didn't say anything about helmets. You went to helmets. I've said hats.
Headwear. All headwear. Removable.
Two different things. Okay.
Also,
I'm talking specific to what
line it off the pitcher, hat pops off.
I am addressing specifically what we saw in the trailer. There was nothing about helmets coming off in the trailer, so I'm not going to address that. That's speculation.
Look, Cardinals Red says helmets are already popping off.
In the trailer where Willie Mays' hat fell off. That is not going to be something that happens in MLB The Show 19.
Are you trying to say Dre fell off?
In my opinion, his hats will not fall off of position players in MLB The Show.
I mean, if they're wearing the correct size. I don't know what Willie Mays was doing back in the day. Was he putting lettuce under his hat? Because I believe Babe Ruth did that. Was it lettuce or cabbage he was putting under his hat?
Okay, I will confirm. I used to put lettuce under my hat as well.
Right, maybe we're not the same.
No, because but I was a catcher, like under my catcher's helmet. Only on like 35 degrees Celsius days.
I'm gonna say that makes it even weirder. I think it's weirder under the helmet.
You use a different leaf every inning. You don't like use it for inning.
So what you're telling me?
It's cool. It keeps your head cool.
So to confirm, you brought a head of lettuce with you
and kept it in the cooler in the dugout. I mean, I would pre-rip the leaves before the game. So I'd have like a stack of lettuce leaves, and I'd put them in the cooler in the dugout. And then before I would go out for an inning, I would grab one, put it on my head, put my helmet over it, and it would keep my head cool for, that inning.
I have a really dumb question. Isn't there a ritual item that's a head of lettuce or something?
I don't think so.
I feel like there might be.
I don't think so.
Is that where the term "nice lettuce" came from?
Probably. I'm just saying it is better than just dousing my head with water, because when you just pour water over your head, all the sweat from your head drips down into your eyes, whereas the lettuce just sits there and refreshingly cools your head. I'm just saying, don't knock until you
Look,
try it.
I know it's a proven way to do it.
Yeah, I know. It's not. I'm not saying it's not weird. I mean, you're out there catching a game again in 95-degree heat, and you literally have produce on your head.
That is what you were saying. Literally, you were saying there's produce on there.
No, I'm not. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm dead serious.
No, I know.
No, I'm getting the chat's asking if it was being sarcastic. I'm dead serious.
He's Canadian. I believe it. I believe anything he did.
No, you don't. You don't eat them. Come on, man.
You could make like a coleslaw out of it, I guess, technically.
No, you throw it in the garbage. Come on.
Coleslaw
Now the rest of the head of lettuce that you didn't use.
Make a nice little romaine. What are you using? Oh, I guess you got to use iceberg, right? Can't use a romaine.
You can't use romaine. You can use iceberg.
Also, romaine, the lettuce.
Oh, romaine is OP.
If you have the choice of a Caesar salad over the house, I'm gonna say you go Caesar. Unless you get to listen to the options of the dressing, because you never know, there might be a low key OP dressing that's hiding in there. That you don't know about.
See, dressing makes a difference.
Let me tell you, the spicy chicken Caesar at Wendy's, get the low fat French, phenomenal. Check it out. I throw the tomatoes out.
All right, let's start moving this thing towards the finish line.
So you're saying, let us continue.
Let us move this. Let us move this venture towards the finish line.
Something that Healthy Lou Gehrig in the Bullpen Banter Discord, ThatSportsGamer.com/community. Go in there, chat it up. He mentioned that he saw a bunch of more ads for MLB Network properties. I remember there were a couple last year, but he definitely pointed out that there were Intentional Talk, Quick Pitch, MLB Now, and High Heat. What's the word for logo? Imagery in the backgrounds at stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It would be cool if some of that stuff came into the game. Like you have a Mad Dog doing a little rant here and there.
Yeah. It'd be a nice addition to franchise. Beyond, I mean, they already have the Justin Allegri led MLB The Show, interludes. That
was it like Inside the Show or something? Or
Inside MLB The Show? It's Inside MLB The Show with Justin Allegri. I'm confirmed by all those stars, by the way, on the stream schedule. They're definitely me. My voice is coming to MLB The Show.
Who is Justin Allegri?
Never heard of him. Other than
okay, that's good. Show. You know what? That's not gonna lie. That's the good thing, because I would rather they get not super well-known people to do it, because you can get super well-known people to go in and record their stuff.
Yeah.
Because trying to go and get Mad Dog to record, 10 minutes every week, probably not going to happen.
He was I don't know if he still does it, but he was hired previously as the play-by-play broadcaster for the San Jose State football and men's basketball team. He's known as the voice of and then I got to click. That's where it is. I'm going to guess the Spartans, voice of the Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Justin Allegri, voice of the Spartans.
Yeah. So he's close.
So
he can come in. He can come record. Love it. If they want to do more,
local to SDS,
do more of that. I love it. Yep. I think Madden did
that with Charles Davis and what's his name?
But like every week you were getting new stuff in. I love the stuff that NBA 2K has put in. I play in my career. I'm on the Celtics, so every once in a while Bill Simmons pops in, and the way that they're doing the stuff, because I think some of their people are a little bit more famous. The stuff they're talking about is just like general ideas and things of that nature, or just like talking about a player that's maybe not even in the game, but just talking about them tangentially, or like the way the league is going. Like, what happens if like 2 weeks into 2 weeks after the show comes out, they do say, you know what, Universal DH is coming in next year, and then they grab Mad Dog to record a little bit and talk about, hey, next year the Universal DH, what's that going to do to this player, that player, How would things change? How are things going to work out? Is Bumgardner going to be mad? Is Syndergaard going to be upset? That would be cool. Even if it's just you're playing an NL game and that comes in and has literally nothing to do with what's going on, other than you're in an NL stadium, so the pitcher would be batting in the game.
And and it's funny that you mentioned NBA 2K, because a note that I have for when we get to the franchise stream, one thing I would love to see them do is, I don't know how much you play NBA 2K franchise.
None at all.
Not at all.
Just my career.
So in NBA 2K franchise, they have owner meetings during every offseason where the owners vote on potential changes, and you need 2/3. Really? Yeah, it's really like, so I'll give you an example. I started a NBA 2K expansion franchise, and I started in the off season. So it's like the second thing that happens. Right out of the gate, the owners voted to go to a 20-second shot clock. So now every game is like 130 to 120, but it makes your franchise dynamic. I'd like to see that in MLB The Show, where, over time that's probably a licensing thing. That clear. Obviously the NBA is okay with them doing that. It may be something the MLB, but just being able to say, some of the things they proposed. The owners vote, okay, hey, great, we're going to double DH now. The owners vote, hey, every pitcher's got to throw to 3 batters. That would be really cool. And we can always talk about that more on the franchise stream, but you had mentioned 2K, so I wanted to bring it up.
I feel like there's a Slack channel you should bring that up in, because that's one of the things in Out of the Park, since you're only playing as the GM, you don't get to do that owner stuff. So the new rules that come through are just kind of like foisted upon you. Like in the Angels franchise, we just had no DH after the first year. But it would be cool to kind of have some input on it, or at least see the stuff that's getting talked about for rule changes and things.
And it's like Arangi says, in NBA, some of the things they propose are ludicrous, and they get voted down 2 to 30 when you have 32 teams with the expansion. Like, they're ludicrous things like abolishing the trade deadline, or abolishing contracts over 3 years. Like, it's kind of funny, but cool. They have a whole big suite of stuff that it pulls from. It would be kind of cool to be dynamic.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, again, because in Out of the Park, stuff like the DH going away is just something that happens to you. I think one of mine, I know we expanded September rosters, I think, to 42, but I also think we expanded regular season rosters to 26 or something like that.
Yeah, 26 happened in my OTP. And Cardinals Red, I know you can turn a dynamic, non-user triggered evolution. Something that happens to the mode that you have to deal with. Which can sometimes be good for your team and sometimes be detrimental. Like, again, in OTP, when TJ and I both had our franchises evolve to 26-man rosters, that's a good thing, right? But then I also had an evolution in mind where they moved to a 17-day DL.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which was I think it was 17, but it was a longer.
Wow, yeah.
It was so you're really, really careful about now having the 26th man on the roster was kind of helpful because, but still, it totally changed the dynamic of how you manage your team. Again, that's probably more suited for a few weeks from now.
Yeah, it's funny because when the best thing that ever happened in my Angels franchise last year was when the DH went away. Albert Pujols was like, all right, I'm out of here. So I got all that money off the books. I was pumped about it.
Yeah. Later days, bud.
That's literally the DH coming in and Pujols retiring is what let me sign Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we here? Talked about that. I talked about the no 150th anniversary patches. I would like to see that. Okay, let's take a look at the
stream calendar.
The stream. No, that's not stream calendar. That's Willie Mays. Willie Mays is back. Slasher. There we go. Stream calendar. Oh no, I got some of it's cut off. All right, it's all good. We'll tell you everything. Coming up, February 7th. FYI, all these streams start at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Yep. Which, guess what?
Same as last year, I believe.
Or was it? No, they started at 5 last year. Or I'm sorry, they started at 2 p.m. Pacific time last year.
That's right. So they're an hour later this year.
Which means I can watch them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more helpful for me.
I no longer have to, have my phone open while I'm driving extremely safe listening to the streams. So that's a good thing. February 7th, MLB The Show gameplay trailer rewind, which is what we just got. Coming up Monday is GameStop Monday on the 11th. Now, what they did last year, and I don't believe it was on... It definitely wasn't on their developer content calendar last year. They were also doing stuff with IGN. And I want to say... I feel like there was another place too. But I know there was that Ramon had sat down with Ryan McCaffrey for some videos. And I thought he did something with another website too. And I believe those usually came out with GameStop Mondays. And they would elaborate more on the thing that was in the GameStop Monday and would be coming up that week in the stream. So we'll be interested to see if that happens again. I hope so. I like those. And they gave you a lot of good in-depth information. More than just the GameStop Monday. You'd get another 20 minutes of content or something to watch.
Yep.
So coming up on the 14th is the first stream and also double stream. This one's starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so 2 p.m. Where it matters. Flash leather with overhauled defensive intelligence in gameplay, player differentiation improvement suite, defensive efficiency, situational awareness 2.0, which is what we talked about in the trailer. Player attribute means more on defense and more. Always curious for more. What else we got here? So I guess that is the 11 a.m. stream, and then at 3 p.m. Pacific that day, 6 p.m. Eastern, hitting advancements in the show 19 have increased the significance of user skill and player tools, player attributes rebalancing, pitching hitting improvements, PCI accuracy, bunting, closed alpha learnings, and more. So 14th, big day. Kind of feel it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
My wife's taking off Valentine's Day.
Not ideal.
I'm not taking off Valentine's Day.
Neither am I.
Might just book myself in a conference room all day Valentine's Day. Go over these. It's not a bad idea.
I'm gonna be in training still, so yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm in training.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually gonna be in it.
Then the 18th, GameStop Monday. February 21st, define who you are as a player and teammate as you chase the big league dream in Road to the Show. Bunch of dots. Playable training, personality growth and relationships, archetypes retooled, and more. What the dots are?
Don't know.
I don't know. 25th, GameStop Monday. 28th, brand new game mode, Moments. I feel like that's going to be that Babe Ruth career thing, maybe.
Maybe.
Because obviously, part of Diamond Dynasty, I guess. Yeah, it's part of Diamond Dynasty because that February 28th is a Diamond Dynasty focus stream. Talking about the Diamond Dynasty paradigm shift, multiple lineups, conquest challenges, quality of life improvements, and more.
What is the paradigm shift going to be? That's what's got me very curious.
They're going to turn off auto shift.
I quit this show.
That is the paradigm shift.
I quit this show immediately.
Been great working with you. Next up, March 4th, GameStop Monday. March 7th, back to a Twitch stream, brand new game mode, March to October. Presentation, commentary, improvements. Blankety blank blank joins the broadcast crew and franchise update mode. Well, joins the crew. There should be a comment there. And franchise mode update, contract extensions. So we think we're gonna add contract extensions mid-contract. That's cool.
Not gonna lie. I don't know if it'll be mid-contract, but I think it'll be like mid-season for like expiring players.
Okay.
Which you currently can't do.
I'd buy that. I do wonder what March to October is. So they have their postseason mode, which is kind of just the playoffs, just like an in-game tournament with a fancy presentation.
Yeah.
They did remove the single season mode from last year. I don't remember what it's called. I think it was just called season.
Yeah.
So maybe March to October is... So it depends on how you read the word March. Is it March the month? And you play from March to October and it's just season mode? Or is it like you play from September 1st on?
Yeah, conventional franchise mode has been removed in favor of only single season modes.
What?
Probably not true. No,
I'm going to say that's definitely not true. Yeah, so March to October could be the literal March to October months, or the action of that postseason that postseason drive from either like after the trade deadline on, or from rosters expand on into the playoffs.
Could it be, if it's the former, could it be that you just play the games and all of the managerialing is handled by AI?
You can do
All
that
the
now,
off
right?
season, I know, but like, is this going to be like all the off season is done by AI? Everything outside of playing the game is done by the AI, and like it's your challenge to play whatever team's on the field, which that team selection screen becomes more crucial now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only playing the games and you're essentially like manager mode. You're the manager, you play the games. GM stuff is handled automatically? GM mode or manager mode confirmed?
But I feel like you could just turn all that stuff onto auto in regular mode.
I know, but turning it all into auto and having a mode where you don't even have the option to do could be something. I'm just saying, we're all about the speculation.
I do believe in speculation.
Could it be a scenario like where it's not March the month and it's March the action, and you take over teams at the All-Star game? Again, making that selection screen critical, because if you pick terrible teams, you're going to have an uphill battle. So again, if it was a straight up manager mode, I would be all in for that, like big time. Like, just you do everything else, make all the trades, make all the re-signings, cut everyone in the off season, overpay for Bryce Harper, and then man, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just don't know if they would do that when you just flip it to auto. But you never know. That'd be cool.
We'll see.
That'd be cool. Or maybe it's like, well, you can do it in 2K, right? Where you can just like play a game, like you can play today's real game, and then just be like, all right, I'm gonna do a franchise from here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you could do that. That would be kind of cool, because they have where you can just play like today's game or like a day from a day in the past.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool if it could just be like, hey, I played the March 24th game of the Braves franchise, and you know what? March 24th would be before the season starts. I played the May 24th game of the Braves franchise. Let me just play it off from here and see what happens.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Interesting.
March 11th, GameStop Monday. March 14th, Diamond Dynasty content preview and Legends attributes reveal. Another wave of Legends steps into the spotlight, and new flashbacks. I think he said, I think in the breakdown, I think he said about 130 total Legends. Not mistaken. The 18th, GameStop Monday. Is that a typo?
What?
The GameStop Monday has a Twitch logo next to it for the 18th.
That's probably
a
typo.
Yeah. And then
Developer tournament
on March 20th. So not only do we hit Valentine's Day, but we also hit my 9-year wedding anniversary.
Sweet.
We do need to figure out when we're going to do these, because their streams are going to be on Thursdays. I guess these are all Thursdays.
Literally the worst possible day that they.
Yep. So we will figure out when we're going to do Bullpen Banter, because that's going to be something we're going to have to schedule around these, because obviously we're not going to do it 2 minutes after the stream when we've had no time to think about what happened.
No.
That's why we like this 2-day buffer. So it's like we watch what happened, we see what's going on in the community, and then we come back in and we tell them how it really is.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, there is a lot of people who do, like, I saw people had videos up with 30 seconds. Like, literally, like, recording their reaction.
I think I might have seen a reaction video before I actually watched the real trailer.
Yeah. That's not how we roll. Like, it's sunk in for us now. We've been able to think about, like, this is just how we prefer to do it.
Bonus points, we got the breakdown video to watch before we didn't go in and did our own breakdown.
Exactly. So we can adjust all of our incorrect opinions to now be correct.
Now they're all right.
Yastrzemski, what are you talking about? That's not Yastrzemski.
Who thought Yaz was a good idea?
Yeah. Oh, God. Crazy. Way to go, Helder Lou Gehrig. but yeah, no, like this is the way I prefer to do it. I know you prefer to do it, and again, it works for us. So
Hmm?
with the streams being on Thursday, about as unideal as possible, it's going to be one of those, and a lot of it depends too on how long it takes you to gather all the information. So it depends on the content of the streams as well.
Mm-hmm. If it's just an hour-long stream, but 15 minutes of it is content, and 40 minutes is them just playing, a lot easier.
Piece of cake.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, so we'll have to see. So stay tuned here, twitch.tv/thatsportsgamer. Hit that follow button. If you really like us, you can hit that subscribe button. I won't give Kris a cut.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if I see him in real life, I'll buy him a beer or something. A Molson Ice? That's what you guys drink up there, eh?
What?
A Labatt Blue? Is that a thing?
It is, but you wouldn't catch me dead.
Did we just lose YouTube ads because I mentioned beer?
Oh, yep. There.
Screwed up.
Monetization rejected.
My bad. Also, we'll just say this very quietly. Victor confirmed that Online Franchise is not returning this year.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Bullpen Banter.
Yeah. I didn't. I kind of wanted to come back. Wasn't really expecting it. But
no.
Sucks that it's not there. I feel like if it ever does come back, we will do.
It's not coming back.
One day, man. Hey, man. It could happen.
We'll see.
Q&A. If you guys want to send your questions, you can do that. You can go into the Bullpen Banter Discord. Again, thatsportsgamer.com/community. There's a room for Bullpen Banter. If you have questions, you can pop them in there, and I'll throw them in the show notes so that we can answer them. Like, from Vinegar11, what is the one card you hope is attainable for you from last year's game in 19? This is the flawless Ichiro, but he's not good at BR, so we didn't get it. Kris?
No. Immortal Vlad.
Yeah, that would have been a nice.
I got to use him in BR once. hit a home run with him in a 0.
Can I say a card that I know is not going to be in the game?
What's that?
Oh wait, no, they don't do flashback Future Legends, right? Future Stars.
No.
Yeah, I never got to use that Acuna. Sucks. I guess Chipper. Any of the Chippers past the first one? I think that's the only one I actually got to use.
Past the crappy rookie one.
Yeah. So a Chipper would be my answer.
Yeah.
If you have cards, if you want to tell us what cards you'd like to unlock, you can do that again in the Discord, or if you're watching the archive, down in the comments, or you just put them in the chat. I'll read them off. But yeah, I think that is everything. I think we're good. I think we covered everything. Did we miss anything? My laptop's
do you not have a Discord command?
I got a Discord command. Probably not. I don't think so. I could just have it over here.
That's fine. There it is. Good job.
I got a button. Got a button for it.
I need some buttons.
My laptop's about to die, which is kind of cool, but it's all good.
All right.
I was just reading
listen.
that.
Good.
Yeah, if you haven't already, follow Kris on Twitter. This is where you say your Twitter handle.
At SnaggleJ. SnaggleJ. At SnaggleJ.
Again, audio, video. Go to thatsportsgamer.com. Get the audio version of the show. Show gets archived over on youtube.com/thatsportsgamer. Live when we do them. Twitch.tv/thatsportsgamer. Hit me up on Twitter at thatsportsgamer. Literally anywhere. ThatSportsGamer. Add me on PSN. Add me on Xbox. Add me on Out of the Park 19 if you want to link up in a league together. What else we got? New episode of OOTP Now is out from earlier this week. Sadly, Kris and I weren't on it, so just go download it. Swipe right.
I was on it, as a matter of fact.
Technically, you were, but that was like
I was literally the host of the majority of the episode. Thank you.
You know what I mean? It wasn't new to us content.
No, it was the Hall of Fame show, which, by the way, was absolutely fantastic.
I heard it was fire.
If you missed the Hall of Fame live stream that we did, go listen to the audio version or go to YouTube and watch the archive. We had Sporer on, which was great, and Rich too. Which was I'm just kidding. Rich is great too.
Speaking of Rich, what was that question that we had in the?
What's it like working for? Then I don't know. It was bait. It was a bait question.
Some link bait stuff. Rich is great to work with.
Rich is Every day I get to work with Rich is an absolute treat and a joy.
Yeah, just like every day I'm not on the ground is a good day.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to end the show.
You know what? I lost. I'm not even gonna pull up the chat. I'm sorry. You got the chat. You're good.
I'm still looking at it.
Yeah, I think that's. I feel like we've covered everything. I do. That's one of these days. Maybe we'll take it offline. Maybe we'll do it as just a mound visit podcast. I want to talk about RBI baseball a little bit. I went over, checked out the website, saw some screenshots, and I'm like, actually looks pretty good. I don't know about you. I don't know about you were thinking. Maybe we do a full bullpen banter episode. Maybe we just chat about it in a podcast or something.
Not out of the question.
So I would highly recommend that you go sign up for the podcast feed, even if you watch the stream. Download it. Let us get that number, get them numbers up, and then you can just slide it off and listen when it's something special.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're good. Follow us in those places, and see you again next week, right? Or sometime. I don't know when, so make sure you're following us so you know. All right, folks. Have a great night. Take it easy. Oh, you know what time it is? Time for you.
I do.
You get out of the bullpen. Get into the game. Take it easy, folks.